The decision to introduce a second WWE World title came from Triple H, not Vince McMahon. I'm Todd Tanner. Welcome to News Wrestling Network. So let's get right down to this story here. Wrestling fans have begun adopting a new go-to line anytime they come across something in WWE that either they don't like, didn't want, or don't understand. Well, clearly that was a Vince McMahon decision. Such was the case last night for some of the news of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship being resurrected. But according to Sports Illustrated, those fans don't have a leg to stand on here as McMahon was not involved in the decision to add a third world title to the mix. The announcement of the new title, which will have its inaugural champion crowned at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia on May 27, was a decision made by WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H Levesque. He's been on the idea of each brand having its own champion, and with Reigns firmly established as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion and likely staying on WWE SmackDown, with those unfilled belts through the draft. That opened the door for WWE Raw to get its own title, a setup Triple H prefers. Levesque has overseen the creative direction of WWE since Vince McMahon retired from the company in 2022. But as McMahon returned to the boardroom in January, so too did his opinions of the company's creative direction, which has been responsible for several instances of changes being made. Such a dynamic led many to assume that one of McMahon's calls was the new championship. And wrong. Triple H's history with the World Heavyweight Championship is long and storied, as he was the inaugural champion of the first World Heavyweight Championship on Raw in 2002. The new World Heavyweight Championship belt design harkens back to the big gold belt of WWE's original World Heavyweight Championship design, but with a large WWE logo stamped in the middle of the main plate, as well as both sides. Well, that's that's pretty interesting, isn't it? My. Well, let's read some of the comments that people made. This came from, I'm not going to name the people. This one. I'll just say CH. Well, that was a Vince decision. This one came from B. If McMahon is making changes to Raw, he definitely had something to do with that belt. Had to approve it. Secondly, they needed to give the Saudis something for all that money they spent. So this was a good opportunity for Triple H to introduce the idea to appease the Saudis. McMahon has more oversight than these articles give him credit for. And this came from HN. Is this being created for Cody? It should be put on Seth. And last but not least, check out this one. You just said it yourself. It's a second title. Then clearly you don't understand what the World Undisputed means, which is now going to be completely false once there is another World Heavyweight Champion again. And there you have it. I'm Todd Tanner for News Wrestling Network. Peace, y'all. I'm out.